this is the total view of my journals. I'm very excited to go over each one with you. I made 8 journals in total, and I have 3 paper cover journals over here, and the top 4 are fabric cover journals. And they are made in a very similar way. They all have a base of cardboard. Any cardboard like I have different like snack boxes, or this is a macaroni box that I keep. Anything that looks like a spine and a cover, I keep it. So that's how they're usually made. And after that, I usually cover with another cardboard like over here. The fabric covers took shorter than the paper covers because all you need is a sewing machine. Even though like putting the fabric together, because they're just all from scrap fabric, you kind of have to adjust it before we sew all together. Paper covered ones, and they do take longer because you're painting them, you're layering the top again and again with embossed materials, and then you kind of make that vintage wash, and then you have to wait until it's dry. So that's the difference. But I enjoyed both of the process, and I'm going to explain all of them with you. And they all have a charm like this. I think if you've seen my vlog, I waited so long to really show that charm, and to wait until I go back to Alabama, where I used to live, and to visit thrift stores that I used to go, so I could find the right buttons or the charms that I've been looking for. The charm looks like that. All right, I'm gonna start with my fabric journals. I have 4 fabric covered journals in total, and they were all from my scrap fabric from my sewing projects, fabrics from my clothes that I don't use. I try to keep fabric as much as possible, and I'm gonna go in order how I made the ones that I made. So this one, I'm gonna go with the cover first. This one I made it first, and because I made it first, I did try to stitch like the flower on the top, but I tried. Maybe next time I should have a beige, like a linen cloth on top, and then stitch a flower with maybe a darker string. And the trim here looks like this. And I think in the button jar that I bought from my vintage mall, it had this cute turquoise small sewing thread charm, and I just thought that was so cute. That little spool, I was like, oh, what a surprise, little spool button. Wonder how I got to that jar. So the signatures are very similar, but I'm just gonna go through each one of them very briefly. They were created with vintage flower book and vintage fairy tale book that I got from a Goodwill near by me. And also this paper is like a vintage paper that I got from Scraplanta, which is a secondhand art store in Atlanta. And these brown papers are tea dyed and coffee dyed by myself on just a cartridge paper. And inside for my fabric covered journals, I just added fabric. And as you can see, these were made by like paperbacks, so you could kind of see the inside part as well. And I wanted bits and pieces of the flowers in view of the journals, so I added here and there. And this is one of my sketches of mixed media art on watercolor paper that I did, and I just had some like laying around that I don't use, and I just sketches, and I thought adding some of my art will be pretty as well for the journal keeper to see. And I also have some photos of my own photographs printed. I printed these a while ago from Print Studio. Print Studio has the best photo paper quality ever. I love the matte finish as well. And I added those photos too. I always wanted to add my own photos in the journal, just like it's almost like a photo journal. And some more bits and pieces of botanical flowers. And these Polaroids, you'll see it. These Polaroids are usually for my photo shoots, or Polaroids for my travels to Europe, Polaroids of my self-portraits, and whatever that is. I just want to share my photograph with the journal keeper, so they would be kind of creative when they write stuff and be thoughtful. And this is a postcard from Georgia O'Keeffe's Museum. I have a postcard stack from Georgia O'Keeffe's Museum. I actually have it right here. I went to Georgia O'Keeffe's Museum last summer in New Mexico because I just loved her work, and I read about her thoroughly, and I really wanted to see her work, and I wanted to share the art that I love with the viewers or the journal receivers as well. And I also added these vintage envelopes are also from Scraplanta. I wanted to buy envelopes that are unique and vintage as well, rather than just buying new ones, so I got them at Scraplanta. And in the envelope, I try to add a variety of things as I can, and this is also my self-portrait Polaroid, and I also have some scrapbook piece of materials that I can use when they write, and I think this is a sticker, like a sticker of long sheet of piece stickers. I use this a lot for my scrapbook too. So whoever does scrapbook, I was like, use it freely and remember my face. Remember who gave this to you. And oh, I just love these spreads. I think when I spread the book like this and there's like a beautiful floral garden landscape, I just think that's like a cute surprise. And it seems like I can smell the flowers. And some more postcards that I can use. Polaroids from my trip. And a photo of myself. Oh, look at this spread with the fabric that I sewed here. It's like a perfect harmony. Flowers and flowers. And this was just a sheet of bag that the photos came with from this print studio, and I kept it forever with the photos in it. And I finally used all the photos for the junk journal, and I was like, oh, I should use this paper bag actually to be in the journal. And so I stuck it on here so they could put whatever's in there or keep stuff they want in the bag. And this signature is actually from Frankie magazine. I just wanted some signatures to be a little bit more creative, so I just ripped some papers from there, and I added a little bits of craft materials or scrapbook paper on here as well. So that's that scrapbook. Just looking at it makes me want to journal. Next is this blue journal. This blue journal is, I think I made it the second time after that first journal. And it has so this has this pretty crown looking fabric on top. I intentionally added because I just thought, why not just stick out some fabric on top as well as the side. And obviously it's, I kind of intentionally had some greens and the blues fabrics to kind of match the color theme. I really wanted to use this vintage blue lace somehow, and I thought this journal would really match well with the blue tone. This has two lines like this, but some of them has one line, some of them has a shorter line. I didn't look up how to add on charms, but I just figured how, and I think it looks great. And let's open it here. And for inside cover over here, I kind of went all out with my scrapbook, with my scrap fabric to create that inner inside linings, and I thought it looked great because I think when you open it at the first time, I think that first inside is very important to give the first impression. So I always try to add the botanicals in the first opening as well. And this was also made with paper bag. If you could see the little inside lining here, it's paper. I think it was a paper bag from Panera. Yeah, I love Panera. And another photo. And as you've seen on my art vlog before, I kind of created these all together. So the papers are kind of repetitive, but I intentionally kind of gathered paper from here and there, and I made them and I bought them, and I wanted them to be diverse as much as possible. And this is another artwork that I did of my own printed photographs. I just did watercolor and oil pastels, and this was just laying around randomly, and I wanted to give them a new life, go to a new owner and be in their journal. And I just love how randomly things that I put and the signatures kind of match together and create a new, like a scene. I think it's so pretty. This is a photo of me in Utrecht, Netherlands. I traveled to Europe last year, summer. I miss Europe so much. And I have some different scrapbook paper that they could use when they are journaling. So we can get, oh, look how this paper turned out from coffee and tea dyeing. It's just so beautiful. It's almost like burnt. I don't even know how I got this burnt mark. I mean, I left the dye for like overnight, so maybe it was like the bottom part of the paper. It looks gorgeous. Another photo of me. I just love how the photo and the fabric look so cute together like that. And I kind of left the Panera paper back to show, and I just thought it kind of matches the paper anyways, and it looks junky, if I'll say. So I left it like that. And next is this rose journal. This has so I wanted to intentionally add some red point on the cover, so I did that. And this has the shortest charm line, and I kind of like the short one too. It's very cute. It's petite, but it still makes sounds. Maybe next time I'll make some shorter charms, because right now I've already used half of my jar of my button jar, so I might need to save some. Okay, same way, I have my botanicals, and I have some scrapbook paper, and this photo is actually from Leipzig, Germany. Leipzig is where Johannes Bach is from, and so I went to the Bach Museum, and that was like a garden at the Bach Museum, and that's where I took the photo. And I mean, I think it's so precious. I'm giving my memories from places to people that I love, and it's a surprise. And it's like, I know you've never been there, but I have, and I'm sharing the memory to them, and I just think that's beautiful. Okay, some Polaroids from my photo shoot. Ooh, what a pretty spread. That's such a pretty spread. Maybe they could just add their own photo next to the spread and add to the artwork. And this is a mulberry paper that I got from Amazon, and I've been actually looking at some videos how to actually make my own like pressed flower mulberry paper. So maybe that will be my next try to create mulberry paper. I just want to create paper myself. I'm trying to create everything by myself, so I could give my touch of hand as much as possible rather than buying things. And these are some attachments that I added with the pin so they could take it off and use it separately. And that's it. And this is the back of the cover. My last fabric journal is this. So this journal was already made. It only had this part, like only the cover, and it was binded, and then I collaged with different fabrics, and it was only that shape. But I wanted to give some life, so I added fabric here, I added some charms here, to make it a little bit more fancy. So I did that. So this has the most unique shape because I think I intentionally cut it square because I wanted to make a square one. I think this journal had most scrap paper in it. These were very, very old scrapbook papers. Because these envelopes could not fit in the signatures because the signatures were kind of small. So I kind of added on the front and I added some scrapbook paper on front. I'm probably maybe gonna write like a letter here or not. They could just use the paper as they want. And the envelope's coming apart. And some self-portrait photos of myself. I have like a bunch, I have like a signature that's small like this, and I have a signature that's like large like this. So I think this is a small bunch of signatures and some large ones. I think the large ones usually have the fabric on the side. And I remember I used whatever's left in my scrapbook paper. These were very, very old scrapbook paper. So I was trying to find a way to use them really well. And I love small pieces in scrapbooks or junk journals because it's like you can write like small like this, and how cute is that? I think this paper is so, like, I love the beige. I think it's so thick. Like it'll hold photos and other documents that they want to store in their junk journal. There's another photo. I think this is a film photo, and I printed off too. And this is a photo from Beaufort. I lived in South Carolina for about 10 weeks for when I went to SCAD and Savannah campus, and I think that's where I took it with my film camera. And it's a photo with my friend Sharon, and it's back in Oklahoma City. I added it here because I'm giving this journal to a friend, Janice, so she knows Sharon as well, so I was like, might as well add Sharon's photo because Janice knows her anyways. I love chunky journals. I know I should give these to people with a very enough space for them to fill, but I fill them so much already. I like giving them in a chunky way. That's such a cute photo. This is a magazine spread from the Creative Magazine. Yeah, and this is that journal. So paper journals took the longest, but I think they look the most like vintage books, and I love books. I love journals. And I was very excited how they were going to turn out, and I kind of went along with my paintings that I was doing for my winter series, and I just had them on the side, and I painted, like I was painting my artwork, and then I painted the journal, and then I was painting my artwork, and then I would paint my journal, and that's how they were painted, even this one too. Because they have a hole like that at the end for the ribbons to come out, so they all have individual outer like set ribbons to hold them tight like this. Different from fabric journals. Fabric journals had the ribbons attached inside as the inner lining, but all of them, because they were paper journals, they were attached at the outside. So this is a dark purple journal. It's a dark purple, but when I painted, I kind of mixed and matched with black. So I originally wanted to be black, but I was painting at really dark at night without much light. And I realized, oh, the paint that I'm using right now, it's not black, it's purple. So I kind of mixed and matched with black, and I kind of like how the dark purple turned out because it really matches the ribbon and the fabric that's on the side. And this has a really long charm. I made the charm long this time because the journal's pretty like long and vertical. I wanted the charm to match as well. And these fabrics, if you saw my vlog, I bought them at a thrift store or Goodwill with this huge bunch, like this much leftover used ribbon, and all I did was I just folded it like this, and then I sewed it across my signatures. So this one, if you open it right away, there is a pretty envelope, And I added some scrapbook materials, paper, stickers, and a photo of myself. And it's just a little photo that I printed for my art review this quarter. I had to make some pamphlets, so I added that. And I think this is from Monet's Garden, Giverny. Yeah. And it's a beautiful photo. And I just love how like the spread at the photo creates another artwork, and it's fascinating. That's from Monet. I wrote the quote in Korean. I think whoever gets this reads Korean. And this is also the ribbon that I got from Goodwill. And I just think this ribbon is very pretty. It's so elegant. It's kind of, it had most of the laces had wire at the end, so it was very easy to amend and create that crease myself and attach it to the fabric right away. Beautiful spread with this mulberry paper. It's a beautiful spread, beautiful spread. And I think I really want to show this also. This fabric is so Christmassy, and it's very, very well made. It also has wire on both sides, so I just fold it like this and sewed it. Another paper with photos. And that's Georgia Keefe's work also. And the linings of this paper journal was different from the fabric journals also. So I added fabric here in the middle, the brown fabric here, and the green fabric here to create the spine more stronger. And then I would take another pack of cardboard and then cover it with fabric like this, and then I just sew it all over the corners again so it's attached well. So I just love how the paper journals feel very, very sturdy. All right, next is this light purple journal. I really love this purple journal. As you can see, this is like the only light purple journal, and it kind of looks different from the other 3 that I have. Like the other 2 or the other 3 kind of resemble, I think they do, but only this purple one kind of has that unique look. And I don't know why I went with light purple. I just thought the photo in the cover right here is a photo of just a huge garden in the same book that I used for the signatures, and I thought light purple would fit photo as well. After I painted the journal in purple, I was like, this is for Melody. So Melody is my nephew who is in Oklahoma City, and I see her often, and I know she loves drawing, and who would not like a handmade journal from her aunt, right? So I used some embossing powder to really carve that name in for Melody, just for her. And that's why this journal is so stuffed already, because I just wanted to give so much to her. I put in so much signatures and a lot of things in the envelope as well. And she has a long, pretty charm. And ta-da, whenever you open it, she will see my face and her. This already been a photo from about a year ago. This is when she came to Tulsa and we went to Gathering Place together. It's like a park in Tulsa. And then that was a photo we took together. And some little bits and pieces so she can play with, like here. I'm pretty sure she's gonna love the stickers for sure. And there's another photo of her. And there's a Gathering Place also. Yeah, I put a lot more scraps things or things that she can play with in her book more than anything else. And this book is already stuffed, and I hope she likes that too. And I also added some little notebook that I have just laying around on my drawer, and I thought she would like that, and maybe she'll probably carry around and draw or write on the journal or little notebook here. Ooh, and this is a huge, beautiful spread of the moment when Belle realizes her love for the beast and cries for her. It's a beautiful spread. I hope she's gonna love this story. Oh, look at this pretty spread of pink. Look how much paper is stuffed in here. The envelope is so like big now. And she has some stickers and papers, some photos of photo shoots. And that's photo of me. She'll remember me. Emo Yubi, Aunt Yubi. Wow, I added another notebook in here that's for her too. This notebook is actually from Japan. I kept it. So this is more than 10 years ago because I lived in Japan 10 years ago, but I still had it and I thought Melody would really like small notebooks like this. Like I did. And that's her journal, her fat journal already. And I am going to see her very soon. My next journal is this green, dark green journal. I think I have to say this is one of my favorite ones because I am a green person and I've been walking on a green season all this quarter. And it's just so like seasonal, like the green is just so pretty, and I have all the greens that I love here. For the covers, if you saw the covers for all the paper journals, they're all from a same image of flowers, and it was one sheet of like one spread from that botanical book, and I just took out like a sheet and then I decided to emboss them. If you see the texture here with the embossing machine, and then for the gold powder, I just used embossing gold powder and stamped them over here like individually and made powder in it. But overall, this technique is from Johanna. So Johanna Klo is a junk journal YouTuber. I'll link her down below as well. And I bought her teaching series on teachable.com and I saw her tutorial and that's how I made these. And this is the same series of ribbon as Melody's over here, so they both kind of shred. They're shedding. Okay, this is the green journal and it keeps shedding, so I'm gonna cut some strings out. And as soon as I open it, there is a beautiful spread of yellow flowers with Georgia Keefe's work. And this is a photo of mine. I think it was back in, I think I took this photo in New Mexico. Oh, and look at this beautiful spread of Belle probably walking into the dining room. So pretty. Oh, and this is one of the favorite photos of myself. I just think this photo is very pretty. I took these self-portrait photos last summer in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they turned out beautifully. And this is also one of my favorite ribbons that I got from the bunch from Goodwill. It's so well made. I was like, this is so seasonal. I love the green, and it also had wires on both sides. And all I did was fold like this manually, and then I just sew it down over here at the end. And it's just a random postcard. I think this postcard was from Print Studio when I ordered my photos. Beautiful spread. It's so pretty. It's a photo from a photo shoot that I did with Cutie. And this ribbon is also from the Goodwill bunch. And look how good quality it is. I got that huge bag of ribbons just for 20 bucks. And some more photos that I added. This purple is very pretty. Ooh, this spread is so nice. And look how old this book is. It's actually very, very old and worn out, but because of that, I purchased it, and I loved how this fairy tale book had illustrated frames like this. And as you know, this is a famous work by George O'Keeffe. Some paper. I really like this vellum kind of see-through paper. And this is the end of the green journal. I'm gonna close it. The green journal has a lot of stuff too. And I think this lace, I loved adding lace because I just love lace. I also have a bag of lace from Vintage Store. So I was waiting to use it somehow. And I used it for this beautiful journal. Last but not least is my smallest journal. Smallest journal. So I had this is a already pre-made journal, and it was just so old and I didn't use it, and I was like, I didn't want to just throw away a journal unused. But so what I did, I took out the cover, I ripped off the cover, and it has, so this is basically, I think I used the tea bag box to cut out the shape as it is and create the cover like that. And then I added another cover. If you see over here, it's another cover on top, and the top part is the same how I did with the other covers. Like I embossed the top and I painted. And I just added some fabric at the end with lace. I mean, inside I couldn't really add much stuff because it already had full signatures and none of my envelopes were fitting, so I just decided to leave it as it is. I just added some fabric here and there with lace like this. I think it'll be such a great, pretty carry-around journal. Yeah. And it's already thick and chunky because of the lace. So these are all my journals that I went through. I was very excited to come with these. It took me almost more than a month to really create all these 8 journals, and it was such a healing process and a fun process to finish, and I am excited to really give to my loved ones. I hope you are also creating for the people around you, and thanks for tuning in to go through all the journals that I have here. Let me know if you have any questions, and be creative during winter, and hopefully see you in my next vlog. Bye!